All right, welcome back, folks. I'm going to show you what I got done. I did a lot of stuff to the bike, not a whole lot, but did a few things to the bike here and there between doing other things. So I'm going to go over and show you what I done, and then we're going to start throwing this thing back together because I got some very cool, well, to me it's very exciting news. So you're going to have to stick around and make sure and subscribe and like the video so you'll see what that news is, because I'll share it with you at a later time and date, because I'm not going to tell you right now because we're going to focus on this. Ooh, it got dark. All right, spun it around real quick. Yep, I went ahead and decided we're just going to clear coat it. Like I said, I got some other stuff in the works, so it was kind of perfect timing for me just to go ahead and give this thing a bath. I just lightly hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad. I didn't try to get all the rust off of it. I just cleaned it all up, degreased it, gave it a good pressure washing, and tried to clean up the stickers the best I could. Same thing with the rims. Just gave it a good bath. Cleaned the inside of the wire wheel real good. I went ahead and primed them, new valve stems. So for y'all that said, hey, just leave the patina, throw it back together, here you go. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to dazzle it up a little bit. Went down to GPS, talked to those fellas, and got hooked up on some new 35 chain. Got all the bearings that I needed for the wheels. We're going to bedazzle it with a little new shockage on the back. Got a new set of shoes for her, and went with the ones that were on it with the old diamond pattern. But these were kind of like the vintage ones that were replaced the factory look, I guess you could say. So we're running the same 14 350 by 6 tires. So got a new set of shoes. Let's see. Got the motor all put back together. Got the tins and everything on it. I did go along and pull the carb off. I batted it. Put a kit in it. All new intake and exhaust gaskets. Try to use all the same bolts that came off of it. And I had this pipe laying around because the other one was roach. Had a big rusted hole in it. And so I got this pipe on there, which I had to change the choke shaft out of the other carburetor off the white motor that was on it. But I did the same thing. Just gave it a good bath. Got everything clean, new fuel line. Make sure and clean all the rest of the sand and everything out of the gas tank. So that's all clean. I did go ahead and drill and tap. So this is the same bolt thread as, I think it's a 5/16 by 24. That way I can extra safety at it. I can even use the set screws on the clutch and have the bolt so we ain't got it backing out. Got the clutch guard, chain guard. I got it kind of somewhat spiffed up. And I did take the clutch that came off the original motor, the one that was on this bike. I got it all cleaned up. Everything looks good on as far as the teeth on the sprocket. They still look good. Everything else looks good. So we're going to just grease the bushing up or oil everything up. And I'm going to attempt to use this old clutch. And once I got it cleaned up, it says on here, FM Incorporated, made in USA. FM Incorporated. I don't know who FM Incorporated is. Have no idea. But I thought it was cool because it's a vintage style clutch. So that's what we're going to put on it. Got this done. Let me show y'all a trick. Or this is what I do. If anybody has an old vintage bike, let's see if this gets straight. This is your scrub brake, right? Goes down inside here, actually, this way. Hit the pedal, and this is your brake. Well, a lot of the old bikes, this is made out of aluminum, and it's usually gone, or it's just completely ate up. Let me see, I think I have another one right. Here's my other one right here. Get over where you can see this. All right, if you can kind of see how this is really just concave from the tire over years rubbing into this, and it just dishes it all out. Now what I do, you don't have to do this, you can just keep running it till the tire rubs all the way through it. But if you want to try and save some life into this, because my opinion, these are very hard to find. This one that was on this bike was actually in really good shape. I just wire wheeled it. I didn't polish it or nothing. I just hit it with my bench wire wheel and cleaned it up. But what I use, grab it here for you. I've had this can like a million years. This is like Bondo, but it's not Bondo. It's like Bondo. You got to mix it with the hardener, and it's Evercoat. It's a metal filler. I'm not going to take the lid off of it, but it looks like real fine metal shavings, and this stuff is like hard as a brick. Like I said, you mix it like Bondo. You got to get your tube of clear, or your hardener, I guess you say, not clear. And you mix it to whatever it says on the deal. And I just lay a coat in here. It ain't got to look pretty, but you can just take you a skim card and just build it up. And I've done it on one other bike, and it seems to hold up really good. Now, you can try and use Bondo. I'm not sure how it'd work. This is just what I do if you want to try to get some more life out of one of these, because I've tried to find them for other bikes when I was doing a green one years ago, and I couldn't find one of these nowhere. And I finally found one like on eBay, and the guy wanted an astronomical price for it. And I was like, whoa. So this is what I do to try and expand the life of your scrub brake. Either that or just don't run brakes. But anyway, I got this stuff mixed over here on the table on the card. Let me show you what it looks like. Sit this out here in the light where you can see it. Knock this out of the way. This was leftover stuff. So when you get done with it, this stuff is, it's extremely hard, but it looks like real fine metal shavings as you're mixing it. But anyway, I had some left over. I was going to smash this with the hammer to see how hard it was to break. But anyway, for putting it on your brake to get a little bit more life out of it, why not? So that's what I did. Okay, so we talked about the motor, got the frame, what I did with that, the parts we got. Here's the rear swing arm. I left the original sticker on there. I just tried to clean it up real easy so I could leave all the numbers, and especially the Sears and Roebuck Company, I wanted to just lightly clean it. Same thing with the pinstripes on the back. I just real lightly clean them with a Scotch-Brite pad, kind of like wet sanding it, just real lightly. Didn't get carried away with all the bolts. I hit some of them with a wire brush and whatnot. So anyway, there we are on that part. So I'm going to put you on the stand or somewhere, and I'm going to try and get as much as this bike put back together today as possible. So sit back and enjoy the ride, folks. All right, let's see if we can wrestle these tires on the rims. Usually I like to take these and lay them out in the hot sun and make them a little bit more pliable. But it's probably fixed to start raining again, so we didn't have a chance to lay them out in the sun. Take a little dishwashing soap, or you use soapy water. I'll just use soap just right on here and put it, lube this edge of this bead up real good. That way it'll help, usually help you try and work it on the tire or on the rim. Wheel, whatever you'd like to call it. Rim, tire, whatever. All right, already got a new valve stem in it. Actually, we're gonna take the tool right here, take the cap off, and I'll go ahead and pull the valve core out. So when you go to air it up, I'll just take a blower and shoot it to pop it on the bead. So these aren't directional. You can pull this sticker off. We don't need that. No. So we're just gonna try and wrestle her on here. Good thing is we ain't got to worry about scratching nothing. Trying to get the back one on there, but like both of them are going to try and go just fine. Come on, there she is. Look at that. Now we just kind of beat it up there a little bit. I'll just take an air blower, hook it up, and like a glove. Look at that. Now this one went on easy. The back one probably be a pain. Or front one. Let's see. That's the front wheel. This is the back one. That's it. Look at that. Brand new shoe. Same thing. We just go up here and pull the valve core out. You don't have to pull the valve core out. I just shoot the air and it helps it inflate it. If you got a tire that's been squished down, you get it in the mail, it looks like a taco. Yeah. Sometimes it helps you pull the valve core out so you can shoot more air directly into it and get it to bead up. little bit more right here. Voila. Pull the tag off. Let's see, we're gonna go from, we'll try this side. Try and get it right on the inside of that deal so that the back side will get down in that little valley, let you able to walk the tire on. This might not be too bad either. Look at that. That's how it's done. Beat it around there a little bit. Shoot some air. Voila. That's probably the easiest set of tires I've ever put on, probably. Yeah, shoot a little bit extra in it. We look good on the bead. Yep. Cap's back on. All right. We'll get up here and see if we can throw the frame together and put the collars. These actually had a collar that went through it, or a spacer, I guess you would say. Then you have the bearings, then an outer spacer. So let's see if we can at least make a roller. All right. Let me show you what we did here. This was, so if I can tilt this back a little bit on the floor. This part of the frame, when I took it apart, this tab was really egged out, and the bolt also had a pretty good sized groove in it. Not bad. Sorry folks, I live next to an airport. Come on, fly over. Okay, like I was saying, this tab was really egged out from the bolt riding in it, and it left a pretty good groove here and one at the back. But everything I could find in stock in town was all a coarse thread bolt. They were either way too short, way too long, and I had to cut threads down on it, and I was like, well, this is what we're gonna do. Plan B. So these are same neck bushings, like say if you get a Rascal from Go Powersports, these have a bronze, they're an old bushing, so this is what you get. So I basically just oversized the tab, inserted the bushings, and then I found a file and filed down the backside. Got this all smooth because the engine plate goes inside here, so you couldn't have this much of the bushing material sticking out. So that's what I did. I just got it in there, went on the backside, trimmed it down. So if you got an old mini bike and you got a lot of slack, say in the neck or down here on this part of the bike, bronze bushings. Get them like so. You can always cut them down. They're soft material, and that way you don't have to try and cut the tabs off and do a bunch of re-welding if you don't have a welder. Get you these and a drill bit. You can either take a hacksaw or the old death wheel and cut off what you don't need, and then you're good to go. So that's what we did with that to try and take some of the play out of it. So we're going to try and get the swing arm in. So I got a little grease here. We're just going to grease this shaft up so we don't want a bunch of squeakiness going on. Any kind of grease will work. This is I think a leftover tube of some CV axle grease from a four-wheeler job I did one time or something. We're just going to smear a bunch of grease on it so everything jives good. Yeah, looks good enough. Let's get this rascal put back in here. Oh, look at that grease all over the patinaed paint. Oh, and I did take, this part here was really bent up. It's still got a slight bend to it right here, but I got the pedal straight. This was kind of wompy jawed after I started bending it, but hey, it's got a little patina to it, so we're just gonna leave it. I got it straight enough for now. It'll be fine. We can always take this bike apart later and do the usual thing and just completely sandblast it, paint it, and then put it back together. And I found a place that a gentleman online, can't remember his name, but actually sells Reproduction sticker kits for like the Sears Roper Hornet. I actually picked up some Hornet stickers from them, and they're very, very cool Reproduction stickers. So you can always go back later and make it original if we wanted to. So I think it goes on that way. It was really hard for me to try and put this bike back together without stripping it, especially when I had it all stripped apart and I'm sitting here looking at the frame thinking, man, I already got it apart. I'm also just sandblast everything, take the front end off, get rid of the stickers, and think of a cool paint color and just totally redo it. But I've seen a bunch of comments. Thanks everybody for the comments. I try to make sure and respond to every one of them that I can in a timely manner. But everybody commented, and majority of the comments said, man, just put it back, you know, with the patina and make a cool cruise ride of it. Just ride her. So those fellas that send in your cool comments, greatly appreciate it. And that's what you're getting. You're getting a cool patina bike. I think it'll look good. Yeah, that'll jive. I still have to find, I forgot when I was at GPS to pick up some peg covers here for this, but we will find some somewhere. No big deal. All right, where to put the wheels? Let's see if we can go ahead and put the bearings in the wheels. Let's go ahead and do the front one. Let's see, this is the front bolt and the spacer. This spacer actually goes in between your bearings, whatnot. And hopefully I got it smoothed down enough. They were kind of ate up. A little on the rusty side. It's got a little bit of a burr to it. Thought I'd clean that off, but let's... Alright, let's see if we can tap some bearings in here. Go ahead and put this side in here. We'll tap. Well, that one goes in pretty easy. That'll work. I'm gonna bolt back out. Get one more on this side. Oh, that one falls in. Look at that. Now we'll take a little grease and put it on the axle bolt. This up here all the way. Need the nut. We don't need that. Always pick you up extra bearings. Always need your extra bearings. Alright, so we can get this rascal in here. Sit up there. I don't think there was any spacers on the front of here. I don't think. New shoe. Alright. Let's tighten this up. I think this was a, what was this? Is it 3/4? No. 11/16? No, it was a 3/4 and 3/4. Yep. It was. Go over and grab us another wrench. see if we can do the same thing with the back tire. And we had shims here. This spacer went on the right side, I do believe. And this is an axle spacer. These go in here. I think there was just a spacer on each side, I do believe. All right, grab 2 more new bearings and a wheel. Make sure you always hit the outside edge of this bearing, not the center part of the bearing. Always work on the outside when you go to tap one in. All right, we're gonna put this one in like so. Let's go clean the edge. I wire wheeled them, but apparently there's a little bit of a burr on the edge of that, I guess. Yeah, a little bit of one. It'll be fine. Let's put this one together this way. And let's see, we need the valve stem. All right, we got, doesn't really matter because it only goes on one way. All right, that's flush there. I think tapping it a little bit more because we need this washer to go right on the outside there. Let's give it another little tap. Yeah, so now the washer is going to sit right on this outside edge. And we take this washer. It's going to go over the sleeve, sit right against the bearing. And this is outside spacer, wheel spacer. All right, got our bolt, nut. That right there. So we can just roll her back here a little bit. Let's sit this down, put a little grease on the old bolt. Where's the bolt? All right. Stay on there. Ah, it's falling out. Spacer? You know what? That was wrong. The spacer goes on the other side. No big deal, we just need to tap this bearing down. There we go. Now, let's try it one more time. Put the washer back on. There we go. Grab the bolt. Snake her in there. Brake's hitting. There we go. Look at that. Not bad. We need that's 1160. We need it. Whoa, get back. Almost hit the floor. Alright. Let's get these fancy Go Powersport shocks mounted up. Now, I had the factory bolts I were going to use in here, but their shocks have a rubber grommet in them with a different size sleeve on the inside. So the bolts that were originally in the other ones would not work. So I picked up some, I call these a shoulder bolt. Probably some other fancy name for them, but they have a shoulder right here. So and it's almost the same size. So that's what we're going to use today. So we're going to use a few washers, get it shimmed out, and also have lock nuts for the back. If you want to be flying down the road and have your shock come loose, that would make for a bad Christmas. So let's see how we can line this up here. We're gonna put 2 there, 2 washers on the back. That's what I figured out. And a lock nut. I think that'll work just fine. Some washers. And where'd my other bolts go? Right here. All right. Let's see what we have. 2 washers and 2 washers. I think that looks good. Just get them all hand tight first, then we'll go back and tighten them up. Then we'll just put 1 on this back side. This is a little bit shorter bolt. I'm gonna put 2 there. Actually, we need 1 more. All right, 2 on the outside. 1 on the inside. Get my fingers in there. Look at that, shiny. All right. Need a ratchet. These are a different size up here. Yeah. And I think I found another roper that I have that it's probably going to get a full restoration. All sandblasted, stripped down, every nut and bolt new. But it's a very good bike, and actually the roper that I have has the gas tank. Different model than this one, I do believe. So I haven't taken the seat off yet, but it's got an original seat on it because the bike is pretty much all original also, because it's cool because it's got the tank. So I'm not sure how it's going to look on here, but since it's original seat, I'm going to steal the seat off my other roper, and we're going to get that put on here. So we'll have an original style looking seat. It's in pretty good shape, so we'll clean it up, and that's what we're going to put on here. If anybody's wondering, what's he going to do for a seat? Don't worry, folks. Got it taken care of. All right, let's see if we can't move this thing up a little bit more without rolling it off the table. Well, we just put it on the kickstand. Yeah, just do that. Let's see if we can get the motor slapped on it. Now, I haven't cranked it or ran it since y'all seen the first video where I was running it off brake cleaner, but I did do the carb and kind of somewhat got it in the ballpark where it needs to be. But I get it on the bike, get the throttle cable and everything hooked up. I do have gas in it, which I ought to put the gas cap tight on. Then before I hook the chain and clutch and all that stuff on, I'll fire the bike up so it's not vibrating all over the place. Adjust the carburetor. I got a new air cleaner for it, put the air cleaner cover on it. But we'll do all that after we got it mounted up on the bike. Be easier to hold on to it instead of it running around all over the floor. Should be all of the engine bolts because these actually were lock nuts, so we're going to use the same stuff. I think these all went up from the bottom. Okay, let's put some brakes on it. Before we get too far carried away, somebody's probably going to ask me, what kind of clear coat did you use? Automotive, of the fancy stuff. No, I did not. Went to, throw it down here. Went to Walmart and picked up the gloss clear enamel, Rust-Oleum. And that's what we cleared everything with. I cleared it, the motor, I sprayed it all over everything. So, anybody wants to know, that's what we use for clear. And we're gonna throw some brakes on this rascal. See if we can get the chain and clutch on it. And for the wife gets home, because I ain't had nothing to eat all day. And I'm gonna make that woman, my editor, I'm gonna make her tacos tonight. That's right. It's gonna be a Taco Monday. Now, how do we get this bolt in here? I don't even remember how I took it apart. Golly, how did I get this thing in here? Does this come up or down? I have no idea. I bet I gotta take the wheel off. Am I gonna take the wheel off to get this in here? Oh, you know what? It sure kind of seems that way. But watch this. We just let the air out of the tires. Put that right there. Maybe. And I don't remember if this had a direction or not, but it was real thin on the bottom. So I built that up. So we're going to put it back in the way it came out, which would be like so. And is this bolt going to clear? It's not. Who designed this thing? Bird Engineering. And you can't get it from underneath. Wow. I guess that's what I do. Take the tire back off, I guess. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, folks. Let's see. I don't think we can snake it in here. Still too much air in the tire bed. Nope. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. Will it go through this way? Not quite. I really want to take the tire back off, but we might not have no option, folks. Scratching all my patina clear up. Line up the hole. Get in there. There she is. Well, that was kind of a bummer. Hey, but you can get to the nut and the bolt to tighten it up this way. Wrench. There we go. And this is supposed to pivot, and I got us a spring right here, which is going to go clip on the bolt, and it's going to hook in the hole in the frame. I wish somebody wouldn't have drilled another hole in there, but it is what it is. Now this is the fun part. Let's see if we can get this on here. Let's try and do it the other way. Let's hook it on the bolt first. And see if I can't hook it in here with a pair of pliers. Looky there. Then this will ride up like so. Put this more in the center. We got brakes, folks. I like it. Alright, got a shock zone motor on. I found some pegs, or peg covers, foot peg covers. So, since I forgot to get some from GPS when I was down there, I had these laying around in a box. Of course, you see a bunch of the bicycle hand grip parts on old bikes. Actually, this one I think had one on one side. But we got some real cool purple. Yeah, I don't know. But I do have an extra set of these. I have a bunch of these laying around. So I think what I'm probably going to do is just put these on here. Take the razor blade, cut the donut part off of it. And I think we'll probably go with those. I think the purple would probably, I don't know. Kind of hard to say. So I think we'll probably just go with the black ones. All right, we'll get this out of the way. I got the clutch here. I probably need to find what spacer was on there. I think I have that in a bag somewhere. This needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Also need to find a flat washer and a lock washer for this bolt. But we're just going to mock everything up first, and probably have to cut a chain. So I'm just going to dry fit this for now. Or actually, we probably just go ahead and grease it while I'm here. What did I do with the grease? The grease is, I already put it up. All right, I'll grease this bushing in a minute. Put a little bit of light grease on the inside and outside. Not a lot, because you don't want it slinging all over, getting on the shoes. I did look at these springs, and they had a little surface rust on them, but they still look to be in really good shape. So if one of these does break, obviously when you try to crank it, your clutch is going to stay engaged. So we'll worry about that bridge when we cross it. But as of right now, the springs look pretty good. So we're gonna run with it. Just bolt this together and see if we can't mock it up. I do need to get a keyway. This is on the inside. Get a keyway and a bolt. Get some chain. Get the master link. A pair of pliers here. Oh, here's the pliers. Set that right there. Set that right there. And let's see, I do believe this went underneath the foot brake lever, over the top, back over the drum. And luckily this one still had a good enough drum on it. It's got some wear, it's got some miles on it. What's really bad is you get an old vintage bike like this, and this sprocket, as you can see, is welded to the rim. I have a lot of the old cat bikes, and the rear wheel and sprocket is all one piece. So if your sprocket, and you want to try and keep the original wheel, and your sprocket is gone, you're kind of in a bind. Unless you know somebody that can make another sprocket, and then you're going to have to put it in some type of jig to hold the wheel while you're welding a sprocket on, and making sure everything is true. Yeah, it can be done. I haven't found anybody right offhand that can do that, because I do have some cat wheels that have the original stars that has this type of sprocket, and I'd like to keep it all original when I put it back together. So I'm going to eventually have to find somebody that has got the crafty enough skills to put a new sprocket on an old wheel. There's no adjustment on this, so we need to make sure the motor is all the way back, which it wasn't. Let me grab a marker. Boy, look at this mess. I grab a Sharpie marker. I'm gonna make sure my motor, my engine, is all the way back in the adjustment plate. Then I'll try and make sure I get all the slack out of it, get it rolled up here where I want it. Then I'll mark it. Everything looks good. Motor's back. Everything seems to be pretty tight right there. So I'm gonna mark where I wanna cut my chain. And man, if I take this link out right here, put those two together with the master, we'll be in business. And where'd the mark go? Let's see, where's my mark? Mark's right here. So, get my chain breaker. We're gonna break the chain, put the master link back on it. I'll grab the stuff and a bolt for this, and get the loop for the clutch. I need to put the clutch guard on first. I think I have that somewhere, so we can put the deal back on it. So I get those parts. I'm grabbing a cold refreshment. We'll be right back. Grab a little bit of this grease, paper towel, fill that up, Real small amount on the shaft, just a little bit. I'm going to take the clutch bearing and just a little bit, because you don't want this slinging all over the place, getting all over your shoes and your clutch is slipping. That's why we're just going to massage just a little bit in there. Just like so. It's on there. Alright, got a keyway right here. A little tappy. A little stubborn. Need to punch that all the way in. Little snug, but it'll be fine. And to shim it up, I have this washer that's going to go right here. And your clutch bolt. And put a little flat washer and a lock washer on here, just for added insurance. I think that'll be just fine. Alright, so grab the chain that's laying in the floor. Let's spin this wheel a little bit. Master links right here. Alright, chain look good and straight. Roll it back a little bit so we can get a roll. There we go. Everything tracks good. Oh yeah. Alright, looks pretty straight right there. You have a little cock to the back of the motor. No bind. Alright, let's nail it right there. Alright, let's see. Get this grease out of the way. I still need to go find the seat in the shed. Let's go ahead and get these things on. So we can get the air hose and blow them on there. Soapy water. And then I'll get them on there and then we'll take this, just cut that off with the razor blade. Let's see. How about we put the little square pattern facing up? Not bad, it'll work. Yeah, that's got to come off. Let's get a razor blade. Just go right around the edge of this. Cut it off. Now, cut my finger. Tough rubber. Yeah, that'll work. Don't look too bad. We got to get too fancy with it. You know, it's just a old patina mini bike. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let me grab my throttle cable. Show you what we got going on here. Let's see. So I used the original that was on here. Didn't even bother to take it off when I cleaned the bike. This is the original one that came on it. And I'm going to say the original because that's originally what I got on it when I got the bike. So, and it's the hard plastic like these, and the way this is made, which I'll show you, that's why I'm going to say it's probably original that came off of it. I got the little throttle stop cleaned up where it works, or the cable lock, because this is what was on the other bike. So I tried to keep all the original pieces that were on it, even though it's all road rashed. Everything still seems to be good, so to be safe to use. But this style cable, normally when you get a cable, your cable will look like this on the end. Might be different if you're doing a flat slide carburetor. It'll have a little barrel on that end or whatnot. This cable has a, instead of having the T on it, it actually has a ball in the end of it, so I can pull it out of here. The factory cable that came on here actually had a ball. Now this was a T-nut, so it looked like this, but it actually fits down inside here. And I was just going to use the regular T-headed style cable, but the way it fits down inside here, it wasn't going to fit too good. So I was like, well, I'll just grind that down, make it look like a ball, so it fits inside this brass retaining thing, which actually goes inside of here. And it's kind of goofy the way it goes. Normally they'll lock in this way, side to side. This one actually goes in like this and curves around. So it's got a kind of a groove wore inside of here. Pretty good. But I'm hoping I can try and put this on and this cable will still work. The screws that were in this original housing, the Phillips part was pretty janky, so I went and picked up 2 brand new screws and cleaned the threads up so I can use the original style housing. So, got the cable deals. I didn't even clear coat these. We're going to put them on there rusty just like they are. And that's the way we're going to run this thing. Put these parts back in here, keep them for something else. And this was a little plastic piece that went inside of the housing, because if not, the whole cable comes all the way through. So this is like a little reducer cup for your cable to go through. So I had to try and fix what was left of it because other cable broke off inside there. So got that fixed. So I'm gonna try and get the cable mounted on, get it hooked up, and I'm gonna see if I can snatch the other seat, and we'll be back. Okay, folks, we're gonna wrap it up. About time for me to go cook dinner, taco night. Anyway, so I need to put the chain guard, clutch cover, whatever you want to call it. I need to put that on. I got the throttle cable and everything buttoned up. Probably have to adjust the carb a little bit more once we do a hot lap or two with it, see how that jives. But I think I got the throttle cable, all that's adjusted. I did go get the donor bike. So for y'all fellas that are like, oh man, I wish you'd have did it all original. This one will be all original. Yes, it does have the stickers on it, but I'll probably get reproduction ones because this one looked like somebody painted it with a house paint and a brush. It is really, really thick. But the cool thing is the original seat, which I already got it unbolted. The bolts actually come out, so I'm going to use the same old rusty bolts. I'm going to wire wheel them, put those on there. Got a little blue paint on it. I might try and knock it off, or we might not even worry about it. But I'm going to give this a good wipe down and clean it up. So here is our seat that we're going to use. We'll mock it up on here. Boom. I think the brackets are going to fit for the holes underneath. But this model Roper did not come with a tank on it. Because there's no indication where the brackets used to be. This model Roper, which everything is basically the same on it, but they welded tabs in right here and obviously put a tank on it. And this tank is, like I said, it's been painted numerous times, but it's immaculately clean on the inside. The fenders are all here. The sprocket on the back of this one, got both fenders. But the sprocket on the back of this one is the same way. It's a one piece with the wheel. So this sprocket is really good. Same thing, we'll probably put new shocks on it. But this will be a bike that we totally rip all the way down and restore. So this will be one for a total restoration. So anyway, folks, we're gonna call it a night, but I'll be back tomorrow right after work, and we're gonna throw the last few things on it, throw the seat on it, top it off with fuel, and we're gonna go for a ride. So I'll see y'all tomorrow.